Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, unless of course you're new here, in which case, hi, hello, my name is Ashley, and welcome to my random little corner of the internet. As you can tell from today's title, we are going to be doing my game TBR, but we're not playing my TBR game. We're going to be playing Prideopoly. It is created by Booksosaurus Bex over on Instagram, so I am going to link the informational post down below. But the way that I play it, I don't pick all of my books for the month. I roll, in this case I will probably roll twice for a physical or ebook and then an audiobook as well. And then when I finish those books, I will roll again. So this particular video, we are only going to discuss some of the books I might want to see on my TBR and then do the first couple of rolls. Other than that, all the other rolls will be either shorts. They will probably be shorts throughout the month, but they will also be part of my wrap-up at the end of the month. So, I know that I have two arcs from NetGalley, and that they are Strange Lights by Mira Hernandez, and that is a queer story. I'm not sure what umbrella or what label it falls under the umbrella of queer reads, but I know that it features a toddler chupacabra and a sentient Winnebago and two crop circle making Roombas. And it sounds like a fun time. And I've heard that it's great, obviously. It is printed by Easy Cat Press, which I've loved everything so far, so we shall see. So I do want to see if I can fit that on there, because it is an e-arc, and I need to get that read and reviewed so that my percentage stays up. The other one is, let me look, because I know it's a sequel. The other one is Bridget and Gabe Are Not Okay, and that is the sequel to, you'd think at some point I'd get really prepared for these videos. Bridget and Gabe Are Not Okay, and is the sequel to Gwen and Art Are Not in Love. I don't remember much about it, but I do know that it's obviously set in medieval time, it's Arthurian times, but it's they're I think there's some lavender relationships going on, because it should be Arthur and Gwen or Arthur and Lancelot, but then this Bridget comes in and Gwen might be more into Bridget, and so it's Arthurian times with a twist, with a little fruity twist. So I do want to get those in there. And then as far as books I physically have on my shelf that I know are queer. So here's the thing. If you've read the post, if you know, things changed icons on my tablet. Each of the squares on the Monopoly board, I will put that over my face right now. Each of the squares on the Monopoly board you have a prompt, and then you have the property space, the colors, a regular Monopoly board. And as you can see, those are based on sexuality flags. And so you get points, you get the amount at the bottom if you complete the task, or if you complete the prompt. But if you fill up, your whole property section, and it's the representation is the flag that's on top of it, you get more points type situation. So over here on the this particular square says found family, but if it also has trans rep, you get extra points. So there's that. So I did do some scrounging on my shelves and on my Kindle to see what I have. I know that I have Girl Serpent Thorn, I Want to Kiss You in Public, Outdrawn, The Name Bearer, All Boys Aren't Blue, Gear Breakers, Girls of Fate and Fury. That's the third in a series. It finishes out the series, and I do want to get to that one. Between Mischief and Magic, These Witches Don't Burn. Physically on my shelf, I just finished reading Dread Nation in May. It'll be in my wrap-up, and there is some mild, she kind of sort of talks about what even might be pansexuality. She talks about how she would kiss boys and kiss girls on the plantation, and whatever fit her fancy. And then one of the other girls is talking about how she feels nothing for, she doesn't want a relationship, she doesn't feel anything towards other people. So a soft, aromantic representation. So the sequel is called Deathless Divide. I do want to read that. There's Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe. I do still need to read City of Heavenly Fire and City of Lost Souls, which Magnus and Alec are... I'm not a huge fan of Mortal Instruments, but I love Malik. I love Magnus and Alec. And then I have like the Fascinators. So I have sprinkles on my shelf. The problem with reading Queer All Year is that when you come to a full queer TBR, you might not have a lot that you haven't read. Okay, so those are the books that I kind of want to get to this month. So, what I'm going to do for rolling, I have it all on my tablet because they created the board on Canva. So, I am going to... I think I'm just going to screen record, and I'm going to put it... I'll scoot over a little, and I'll put it right here on the screen. And that way I can also clip it so that I can put it on TikTok or something. I don't know. So as you can see, here is my little mover. She's ready for Pride. She looks great. So we're going to move her over here to go. I'm going to zoom so that we can see what the spaces say. There she is. She's adorable. Okay. I need to get a dice rolling thingy. Okay. I am pulling up 2d6 on this Roll-A-Die app. Here we go. We're not going to start with whatever comes up first, obviously. We need to actually hit roll. So we're going to hit roll. And we have a 9. So we go back over here to our board and we move our delightful... Maybe. Come on. My tablet wants to run very slow. Okay, so here we go. We're going to move 9 on the board. So we've got, I'm going to just count and then move her. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. Why will you not move? There we go. That's going to put us on the more than one queer identity space. And then, as you can see, this is the gay flag. So if one of those queer identities is gay, like men-loving men, then I would get extra points. But let me look. I mean, because I did talk about Deathless Divide. Technically, that would be a pan by arrow. But let's see if any of the recommendations on the Discord or in our like super secret Instagram chat have any that might fit for the expert mode. Okay, so some of the recommendations that I'm seeing are Icarus by Kay Ancrum. There's also Lovingly Glimmer in the Dark or By All Accounts, all by Cozy Dubois. Someone recommended I Kiss Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. Haven't read that one yet. I think I've read everything else by Casey McQuiston except for that one. Another recommendation post says Kiss Me Maybe by Gabriela Gamez. The Queer Girl is Going to Be Okay by Dale Walls, and The Holiday Trap by Rowan Parrish. So there's some more. I personally have already read this one, but The Sunbearer Trials by Aidan Thomas, loved it. Absolutely loved it. If you're watching this and you need a rec for that, that would be my recommendation. Sunbearer Trials is fantastic. Okay. So while I typically am all like, I need to read the books that I want to, like, that are on my shelf, and I think Deathless Divide would fit, but I do want to hit expert mode. So, for a book featuring more than one queer identity, under the gay flag, I'm going to go with Most Ardently by Gabe Cole Novoa. It was recommended multiple times under this particular prompt, and it's a Pride and Prejudice remix. I don't think I've ever actually read the original, but I've read a lot of retellings. Like, Pride by E.B. Savoy, fantastic. And then, obviously, I like the Keira Knightley movie. And, because Keira Knightley is not in the same one with... Ashley popping in to say that the name that I'm trying to think of is Colin Firth, because he plays Mr. Darcy in like the 1995 version. I've seen parts of that one, but never seen the whole thing. But then I have seen the Keira Knightley version, and I was just trying to say that they were not the same movie, but I knew that both existed, plus many other versions as well. I have watched Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, too. There's that. Yeah, no, Keira Knightley was the 2005 one, right? So yeah, that's the one I've watched. And it's great, obviously. So I'm excited for this one, I think. My library does have it in an ebook and the audio. So we're going to roll one more time and we're going to see what that book ends up being. To see which one ends up being my audiobook. Because unfortunately right now, with it being summertime and everyone being at home, including myself and my husband working from home, I don't really listen to my audiobook as much as I would like. So, okay, so we have to go back to my dice and turn my screen recorder on again. Okay, we're gonna roll. And that's a 7. 7. Okay, so 1, it went away. Sometimes technology doesn't work for you. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Ooh, okay. So, I'm gonna zoom in. Okay, why is she not moving? There she is. Okay, so now she is over here on... This is going to be another book that I don't own. I already have a good idea for this one because I saw it in the recommendations post, and I was kind of excited about it. So, now I have to go find it and figure out if it's available anywhere for me to read, because I don't know if I want to buy anything right now. So I have to see it's on KU or my library. I think it's on KU. I think it did pop up on KU. Okay, let me go figure out what it was. Okay, so the book that I was looking for is, in fact, on Kindle Unlimited, and that is called Junker 7 by Olive Kelly. It's a sci-fi book. It says it's about a junker, a bounty hunter, making a living off collecting and selling valuable scrap. They live in a quiet life, bouncing from job to job and not worrying about the brewing galactic rebellion, except when they get a job offer for an irresistible amount of money. They find themselves embroiled much deeper than expected. Their task: to smuggle transgender activist Juno Marcus across the galaxy under the watchful eye of the intergalactic police force in a propaganda-informed galaxy. It is too dangerous to accept, but too valuable to refuse. And it doesn't help that Juno herself is charming and beautiful. Agreeing drags Cass into a whirlwind race against those who want Juno dead to make it across the galaxy to safety, risking it all for the cause they can't or won't believe in. Now, this is an indie book, so the likelihood of it having an audio is very slim. I'm going to check my library. So, with the likelihood of it having an audio being very slim, most likely we will be listening to the audio from Mr. Ardently. Let's look. No, it does not have it at all. So that is what we will be doing. So for my first space, I landed on a book that features more than one queer identity, with, expert mode being that it has to have an MLM romance, and that is going to be Most Ardently by Gabe Novoa. And then the second space that I landed on was a MC who is disabled. Either the MC or the writer is disabled and under the trans flag. And that's going to give us Junker 7 by Olive Kelly. I'm really excited. I think this is off to a good start. We're going to have a great June. We're going to have a great Pride Month. But that's going to wrap up this video, because like I said, we're only going to run for those first 2 books, and then once I finish those 2 books, or finish one of them, like more than likely I will finish Junker 7 way before I finish Most Ardently, because I'm not able to listen to my audiobook as much as I would like to most of the time. So yes, after I finish Most Ardently, I will roll again, and we'll go from there. So, as always, on my TBR videos, what are you reading this month? Are you making a Pride TBR? Are you just still going with what you would usually read and just winging it? Or what are you doing? How are you picking your books? What are we reading this month? Regardless, we're going to have fun, right? I think so, yes. So yes, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, as well as the bigger subscribe button and the notification bell, so you're always notified every time that I upload. And until next time, Bye.